Hi, this is Cecil Zeringue with Empower Yoga, and we're going to work on a session here where we target the hamstrings and Hanuman as a peak pose, and we'll have a little fun and move around. And some of the props we'll need here is a towel and a blanket. If you have a couple of blocks, that will be helpful. It's not necessary. And create a space where you have some wall. We'll utilize a little bit of the wall. And I appreciate you joining us, and let's get started. Take your blanket and we'll go ahead and fold it in half. And we're going to put it underneath our sacrum. Put it in the center of your mat. Nice and stable for your sacrum. And then draw your feet in towards the sit bones, and the heels go out wide. Let the shoulder heads go back and the arms splay open. Crown of your head lengthens. The toes to come to touch. And they'll have the inner seam of the thighs draw together. Really let the hips sink down and let the heart open up, soften, and maybe pay attention to how your soles of your feet land on the mat. You may notice that the knife edges of one foot is more prominent than the inner edges, and you want to have both feet balanced on the four corners, which is the big toe mount, the pinky toe mount, the inner and outer heel. And just really turn inward into your observation of how you hold yourself up in this pose. And you go deeper into subtle body poses. This drishti of internal gaze, of the sensations of how things are habitually held. It takes this quietness of turning inward to where we can really relax and notice what is gripping and what maybe is absent. We can learn the continuum of the chain of structure in our body as well. We're not coming from a place of maybe trying to fix, but more of observation, awareness, and then release. Inviting awareness. In this pose right here, constructive rest, it's really a wonderful way to start off when you do anything like hamstring stretches or Hanumanasana. Really releases the psoas muscles, which connect from the lower back into the femur bones. The only muscles that go from the torso into the lower half of the body. So inhale deeply into the navel center and exhale, releasing out through the nose. Do that again. Inhale, drawing into the navel center. Really feel the breath washing the spine. Exhale out through the nose. With every breath, you're moving more towards stillness. And on every exhale, you can just feel your body being supported and nestled by the earth, connected. Now, slowly bring your feet back to hips distance. And then straighten the right leg and let the left follow. So you may notice with the long legs, you might feel a little bit different sensations, possibly in the lower back or the pelvic tilt. You may notice what is gripping here. So we're not really being super active just yet. But you can start to press through the inner heels, elongating the spine through the crown. So it's like opposite ends of the string are being pulled. And your tailbone is like, imagine that the tailbone is being on a string as well, pulling through the ankles. So you can feel a little less pressure in the lower back there. You feel the collarbones opening wide and the palms gazing up towards the sky. But also let the toes, the big toes touch and the heels be a little wider. So you have this neutral rotation. And being active, but with a little ease. Keeping an effortless activation. Now take your towel and have it handy. Draw the right knee into your chest. And again, it's not a deep stretch here. Just going to mindfully press that right thigh away from the crown. Soften the shoulders. Interlacing the hands on the top of the shin. But it's also like releasing the activation there. Now straighten the right leg up to the sky. Interlace the hands behind the mid thigh. And so we may want to lift the chin towards the chest, but allow it to soften back. Let the shoulders soften back. Feel the chest express through the arms and through the shoulders as the biceps are lifting upward towards the sky. So it's like on a pendulum between the right leg and the shoulders, elongating the spine. The left thigh is nudging down towards your mat. And then lower the right foot back to the ground. And then draw the left knee in. You can interlace the hands behind the thigh or on top of the shin. And then slowly elongate the right leg forward. Toes moving towards the crown, towards the thighs or the hips. And you can feel the left knee resist against the arms. And again, the tailbone is lengthening down towards the right heel, softening any grip in the jaw and the face muscles relaxing. You can kind of rock a little bit, but nudge that right thigh back towards the earth. Now lengthen the left leg straight, interlace the hands behind the mid thigh. Good. So let it welcome into the hands. So it's not like strong activation, but very at the origin of the left thigh. You're moving it back towards the wall. Inhale deeply, exhale, releasing. And feel the tailbone extending towards the wall, being anchored down. Lower ribs softening down as the upper back is lifting towards the crown. Now lower the left foot down to the ground. Grab your towel, and we're going to use your towel as a strap. Now, if you had a bigger towel, you may want to use it. It just really depends on your flexibility. These towels, little towels or hand towels, are right on the edge of me doing a hand to toe pose here. I could probably use a little longer one, but it feels nice to have the arms really extended forward, and I can just slowly magnetize the shoulders down. The right hip bone comes down, and I'm flexing the right foot. And now I extend the left leg forward with a neutral rotation, maybe slightly inward rotation. And I'm pressing that left thigh down. So if I had a longer strap or so, I could probably allow the right leg to be not so far towards my head, maybe a little further back. And they would let that left leg press down, which will create a little arch in my lower back, which will be nice. which is a natural curve. So let's switch sides here. Draw the left knee in, bring the strap around or towel around the left foot. It's perfectly fine to keep the right foot on the mat. This is actually probably more comfortable this way. And again, you know, the long arms are extended long, would start to drift the shoulders back, using less effort in the hands. Extend the right leg long. It's okay if you have a slight bend in the left knee. Hike the left thigh down and forward away from the crown, or moving away from the crown. So you start to reduce the effort in this pose and allow for ease to flow. Notice if the foot's sickling in, try to press the lifted leg upward. And then try to release the strap or the towel and keep the leg active in place. And slowly lower down the left leg. Good. Bring your arms out wide. Let yourself digest the pose a little. Draw the soles of your feet together as your knees come out wide. Knife edges of the feet press into the ground. And slowly bringing the knees parallel. We're going to activate the thighs into the pelvis. Slowly lift the hips up. See if you can lift them up parallel, as if they're on a plane. And then slowly lower one vertebra at a time. The sacrum's back down. We're going to lift the feet up and lift it, pressing the soles together, slowly lowering the knife edge back down. Then lift the hips back up. Shoulder blades, triceps pressing into the earth. And then one vertebra at a time, lower down. Try to balance. It's kind of a little awkward. Lift the knees up out wide, pressing the soles together. Press the knife edges back down on the ground. This time we're going to lift up, remove the blanket off to the side, and then slowly lower. Nice and slow. Should feel really good on the lower back. Bring the knees together, the hands on the outer thighs. Draw them into your chest. And around the shins, give yourself a gentle hug. Right hand comes over, knees, rotate, stacking the hips. Press the left hand down and rise back up. And we're going to move into tabletop. So stack the hips over the knees. Lengthen the feet to where the top ankles are pressing towards the earth. Shoulders over the wrist. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Now hold the cat pose. Inhale. And feel the breath come into the back ribs. Exhale, staying in cat. And then inhale, we're going to move into cow pose. Take your time. It doesn't really matter if you're moving the breath within the exact movement. Inhale, pause. Exhale, remaining in cow pose. Notice what that does to your body. Inhale again in cow pose. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, curl the toes under. Exhale, neutral. Lift the knees to hover and pause. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again to hover. Exhale and slowly lower down. Now lift the right heel to the sits bones, and we're going to gently start rotating that right thigh. So imagine that you're kind of squashing a bug with the kneecap, and you're going right to left, and the left thigh is adducting, pulling apart as you're going wide, and then adducting as you're coming inward. So there's this resistance from the left side of the hip splaying out or moving with the rotation of the thigh. Just kind of move. Now let's go ahead and lower the right foot down, lift the left heel up, and we're going to start to rotate the ankle in, the thigh out, thigh in. So as that whole left hip might be moving, and you're resisting with the right thigh from moving along with it. So as you're, the tendency is to move the thigh outward, and the right thigh will move inward. So see if you can counteract that rotation of the left thigh. So bring it back to center. One more time, back in, back out, draw it to neutral, and lower the left toes down. Lift up into downward facing dog. Kind of a short dog here, and press the soles of your feet down to the ground, the heels. See if you can lift all the 10 fingers up and press the palms of the hands into the mat. Good. Let the sits bones rise up. Good. So bring the line extension from the wrist to the shoulders through the lower back. So you're in like an upside down V shape. Press both heels down and lifting the inner arches of the feet upward. The upper thighs rising in. Good. Feel the calves pressing towards the shins as the upper thighs move back. Bring the right hand to the outer ankle and really root down that left heel and bend the right knee. So the gaze might lift up over the left underarm with the bind. But still feel that upper left thigh hiking back. Right hand comes back to meet the left. Left hand wraps around the outer right ankle. And you can bend the left knee. Really root down that right heel. And your left hand can reach the calf as well. And pull that calf towards the shin, but resist with the upper thigh backward. Good. Left hand comes back to forward. Now walk the hands into ragdoll on the back of your mat. Grab opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Be a yes for your practice, right? And maybe being a no is a yes for you. How many times do we feel entrapped into saying yes for something that really isn't working for us? We feel like we're obligated, but oftentimes that yes is not we're trying not to look bad, rather being authentic to ourselves and authentic to where we stand with things. So be a yes for you, no matter what the answer is. So bring the hands to the outer shins or to the back ankles. Just allow the spine to spill out of the hips and soften the crown towards the earth, forehead towards the shin. Good. Lift up halfway. Keep the line of the neck and the head lengthening in the same direction as the spine. So kind of wiggle and really feel the space between each vertebra in this pose. You're knitting the ribs together, so you're very strong with the core, but you're also soft in the spaces between the spine. And lower back down, and then rise up into mountain pose. Get the hands ignited. Shoulder heads come back. Gentle bend backwards. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Spider finger the hands, halfway lift, walk forward into plank pose. Go ahead and keep the strong plank with the arms. Space between the shoulder blades active. Good, and glue the ankles together. Step the hand to the middle of your mat, rise up into side plank. Vasisthasana. Stack the left hand over the right. Good. And lift the left leg up. Rotate it forward. Tap onto the ground. Draw it back nice and strong. Good. Bring it behind you for Wild Thing. Open up the gaze through the left fingertips, the left thumb. And right back into plank pose, roll into left arm back down, right hand meets, ankles glued together, reposition yourself, roll into the knife edge of the left foot, right hand rises up, nice and strong, right leg rises, and rotate, bring it forward with straight leg, tap, come back behind you and into Wild Thing. Good. So open up into your full expression for yourself in this pose today. And then back into plank. High plank, low plank, back up into high plank. Lift the right heel up, low plank, three-legged plank, or chaturanga. Lower the right foot down. Lift the left leg up, chaturanga, half plank, full plank. Lower the left foot down. And scoot the hips back, downward facing dog. Good. So press the heels downward. Gaze between the ankles. And just feel the crown lengthening towards the thumbs. Yeah, and start release. Noticing where you're gripping in the spine, the ribs. Now lift the right heel up. Let it kind of hover forward with a straight leg. And root it down. Really press that right thigh back as the right calf moves forward. Lift the left leg up with straight leg and let it meet the right foot. And then move the chest towards the thigh. Lift the left foot up, hover like a little Star Wars hovercraft, like Anakin Skywalker, right? Kind of lifts up and floats into the air. Go ahead and lift the right heel up and let it scoot forward. So moving towards a short dog. Step it about 6 inches in front of the left foot. Slowly making our way to the front of the mat. Just really feeling the upper torso starting to round as if we're going to press stand, right? Slowly walking your way. You can take a break along the way, lift the heels up, shifting the weight into the hands, walk them a little bit closer. Grab opposite elbows now into your fold halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Rise up with a straight spine, mountain pose. Thumb knuckles to your heart center. Let's Om. Inhale. Tadasana, hands by your side, standing in attention. Inhale, fingers rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Gaze to the front of your mat. Good. Rise back up, chair pose. Sit deep into your chair. Let the hips scoot back. You want to be able to see your toes. Inhale, active fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale, gaze to the front of your mat. Plant the hands, step the left foot back. Both hands to the front, so low lunge. Bring the fingers or the hands to the front of your mat. And let's make this to where there's a line of the right forearm in the right lower half of the leg. So the knee is kind of stuck maybe under the inner arm crease. You can feel the heart opening as the tailbone is sinking down towards the knee, right? Now bring the hands behind you, internally rotating, interlace the hands, and lift the crown upward. So right here, you want to feel that pelvic tilt go neutral, right? The pelvis is anchoring down. You can even use the hands to press the sacrum down. Lower front ribs are softening in the back. Upper ribs are lifting up through the crown. Good. Hinge forward. Curl the left toes under. Lift the left knee. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. Lower all the way down through Chaturanga into baby cobra. Good. You just bring the hands in, elbows nudge together. And just kind of gently opening up the collarbones. Lifting the kneecaps. The tops of your feet are active. Curl the toes under. You can press through child's pose to get to down dog, or you go straight into down dog. Move the chest a little closer to the thighs. Lift the left heel up. Step it through. Lower the right knee down. Flip the right foot. And notice if the right foot is sickling in, you want to make sure it's straight back as best you can. Even if the top ankles don't necessarily touch the ground. So now we have the left arm and the left knee kind of nestled together. And start to externally rotate the shoulder heads back and down to the spine. If you need to inch the left foot a little forward, do so. Good. And hike the left hip back. And again, that tailbone is in line with the spine moving towards the right heel. On the spider finger edges of the hands. And with a core that's engaged, bring the hands interlace, the opposite thumb on top, and take the palms of the prayer hands into the sacrum and press that sacrum down as you lift the heart up. So it's just helping you nudge the pelvis and anchoring it down, the tailbone. Good. There's an external rotation in that front thigh. And then back knee and the left heel are hugging towards each other with activation as the hands rise up, fully engaged. And then come down to the front of your mat. Lift the right back leg up, step it forward, fold. Hands to the back ankles, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Lift the hands up. Good. So making like an L shape here. Then rise with a straight spine. Inhale. Exhale, hands into prayer. Elbows, the thumb knuckles back into the back skull. Feel the lengthening of the elbows upward. Front ribs lowering down. Fold forward. Yes. Hands to the side, shins halfway. Lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Press the hands down. Bring the left foot back. Lower the left knee down. Rise up. Low lunge, inhale, exhale. So really feel that external rotation in the front right thigh. Good. See if that whole left shin can be matted into the ground. Left hand down, right hand for a twist. So we're going to squeeze the right knee towards the left shoulder. Good. Curl the left toes under for the twist. And bring the left heel to the sit bones and reach the right arm back. And once you get the arm back internally, start to externally rotate the right shoulder and feeling the hamstring strengthening side of things here. Right hand comes up, keep the left heel as close to the bum as you can. Lift the left leg tight as light. And switch hands. Bring the right hand down for a lizard. And then rotate the left heel down. Extended side angle. So we're going to just inch up onto the fingertips of the right hand. Left hand comes on the hip. So we have this external rotation of the front thigh. You have the bind with the elbow and the arm. Then draw straight right leg into triangle, Trikonasana pose. So the right back ribs are wrapping around to the chest. Bring the hands forward in triangle, stretching the fingers out. And I'll walk them to the center. Side facing wide leg fold. Good. Bring the forearms to the ground. Slight little pigeon foot in the feet as the inner arches lift up of the feet as the ankles draw in. Good. Walk the hands to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee down for the lunge. Hands rise up. Flip the back foot, top ankle, the whole ankle and shin. See if it can become matted down into the earth. Externally rotate the front thigh as the right hip moves forward. Good. Rise the hands up. Inhale, exhale, hands, right hand reaches down as the left hand lifts up for a twist. Go ahead and curl the right toes under. Draw the right shoulder deeper into the spine, to the ribs, and make the right heel make its way to the left hand. So open up the left shoulder, sink the tailbone towards the right knee. Gaze lifts up towards the sky on the left side. Whenever you're ready to release the bind, try to keep the right heel as close as you can to the bum. Left hand rises up and then slowly release the right foot down. Windmill the left hand on the inside of the knee. Rotate the right heel down. We're in lizard. Transition. Right hand comes up. Extended side angle. So you're lifting the weight out of the left hand and moving it up into the right hand. Super active. Right hand reaches forward as for 45 degrees, lengthening the spine. So you have warrior two legs, right? Lengthening the spine at a diagonal. Halfway lift. Make your way into side facing wide leg fold. Good. Forearms can rest. Crown of your head can sink down. Spend a moment here. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Shake your head, yes. Let it just dangle. Spill out of your hips, the spine. I'm going to walk our way back into triangle pose since we missed it on the side. So we got to catch it and balance it off. Right hand rises up. Feel that rotation of the back bottom ribs towards the chest. Lift up. Tick-tock your feet back to the center of your mat. Step up forward, chair pose. Sit down into your chair, hands to heart center. Lift the right knee up, active foot. Bring the peace fingers around the big toe and standing leg raise. So adduct the left thigh into the center line. Bend the foot, yeah, and then move it to your thigh for tree pose. Press the hands together. And really feel the right thigh open up, right? And it's not going to open up parallel. Maybe it will, who knows? Peace fingers go back to the big toe, and this time we're going to open it up wide. Gaze can follow the left thumb. Try to have a plumb line from the left ankle to the knee, to the hip, to the skull, and then bring the foot over the knee for figure 4. Squat the elbows down to the shin, the knee and the foot. And then rise back up. Standing leg raise, scooted back into your airplane or warrior 3 pose, your version. If you want to go for the gusto, bring the hands forward. Yeah. And slowly bending the standing front leg, reach the toes back into crescent lunge. Draw the left knee over the ankle. Good. And then rotate the right hip down into warrior 1. Move into warrior 2. Left knee over ankle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Extended side angle, left elbow into knee. Hands into prayer. And then rotate the right heel upward into crescent lunge. Pitched forward. Good, at a diagonal. And then step the right foot forward and reverse namaste hands, or keep them at your hips, your option. Hinge forward for pyramid pose. So press the hands into the sacrum as you hinge forward. Let the crown sink down. So you have the external rotation of the front thigh, and then imagine that this inner back thigh crease, right, wraps all the way around. Now walk the fingertips pointing behind you, behind the heel, and lift the heel to the bum. Yeah, try it on. Bring the right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Chair pose. Hands rise up, sink down. Bring the hips a little further down. And then shifting the weight into right leg. Lift the left knee upward. Good. So active left leg, standing leg raise. Lift it all the way up to the peace fingers. Extend the leg forward. See if you can adduct the right thigh, keeping it into center line. Right hand goes out wide, or bring it above your head. Good. Now bring the foot into the thigh for tree pose. Hands into prayer. Collarbones widen. Good. So balance your tree. Now grab the peace fingers around the big toe, and with it being already, the thigh being open up into extended leg raise out wide, gaze can move to the right thumb. Doesn't have to. Now bringing the ankle all the way across the knee into a figure four, hands into prayer, wobble a little bit, it's all good. See if the elbows can reach the left shin points of the knee and the ankle. Good. Rise back up. Left leg lifts and hinge over into warrior three. Your version. Crescent lunge. Step the left foot back. Right knee over the right ankle. Rotate the left heel down into warrior one. Revolve the torso into warrior two. Good. Reverse the warrior. Gaze up to the right thumb. Left hand slides down, extended side angle. Gaze up to the left thumb. Bring your hands into prayer. And then slowly lift the left heel up. Rotate it down and hinge forward into your crescent lunge. Good. Really make this a powerful crescent lunge. Step the left foot in a little bit. Interlace the hands or move into reverse namaste prayer. Hands forward fold. Pyramid pose. So feel that right thigh hug back. Externally rotate. Internally rotate the left thigh and adduct them together. Imagine that your legs are scissors and they're tight, squeezing and cutting paper. Draw the forehead to the shin. And then rotate the arms and the wrists where the fingertips are pointing backward. With a straight front leg, shift the weight a little forward and draw the heel to the bum. Yeah. Good. And then lower the left foot next to the right. Forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Step back into plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Toes curl under, downward facing dog. Good. Reorganize your breath here. Notice how this dog feels compared to the first one of the practice. Right leg steps high, three-legged dog. And then step it forward. Like a long pyramid pose here. Lower the left knee. I'm going to do a little bit of runner's movement stretch. Runner's stretch with movement. So hug the right hip back. Press the hands together. Toes move towards the thigh. And then draw the knee over. And come back. Good. Hinge forward. Yeah. Exhale. Come back. Inhale, knee goes over the ankle. Exhale, toes come towards the hip. Bring the fingers to the ground. Lift back up. Slowly press the right foot back down and step forward, fold. Halfway lift. Hands to your mat. Step the right foot way back. Straight leg as a long pyramid. Right heel is lifting upward or pressing down. Lower the right knee down. Straighten left leg. Hands come up, rise up, inhale, hinge over as you pull the toes back. Hands move forward, knee goes over ankle. So use that bind with the hands to create stability. So you're doing the strength in the legs as you hug the right knee towards the left ankle. Keep going. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, knee comes forward. So kind of adducting that right thigh. We're not letting it splay out. Good. And walk the hands forward, step back into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale. Step forward, standing split. Left heel rises up. Good. Supported warrior 3. Spider fingers on the ground. You can use blocks if you like to support you up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Step back into plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left heel rises up, three-legged dog. Step it forward. Standing split. Right leg lifts. Left arm wraps around the back ankle. Go ahead and grab a blanket or a towel. I'm going to use a blanket because I have one here. And we're going to work on some Hanumanasana stretches. Some preparatory movements for Hanumanasana. If you have blocks, have them by your side. It's not necessary or mandatory, but we're going to use the blocks as props. And bring the right leg forward onto the blanket. Hands onto the knee. Okay. And step the hands onto the blocks. I'm going to slowly slide the blanket forward, using the blocks as support. And as far as your limitation, wherever that is, and we don't want to pull anything in the hamstring, so you want to draw the heel in wherever you reach this limitation of the splits, okay? And then extend the heel back forward. So maybe it goes a little deeper. You continue trying to keep the space of the splits in the same area. Extend the heel forward and then draw it back. So with each one, you might get a little deeper. Good. And then finally on the third one, put a block underneath the front thigh, or maybe even the block on the left quads. So you support yourself up and hang out here and breathe, okay? So you want to be near the edge but not jump off the edge. Okay? And your tailbone is anchoring straight down, right? And rotate internally the arm bones to interlace the fingers and press the hands into the sacrum so you can manually feel what it's like for it to sink straight down. Crown of your head lengthens. So it's all in the pelvic tilts here. Okay? So you isometrically have that back shin hugging forward and the right heel hugging back. So whenever you're ready to get out of the pose, you start to shift the weight into the left and the right hand, draw it back, and then step the right knee to meet the left. And just spend a few moments here. We're in no rush. Readjust the props. And then step the left foot forward. Okay? You're going to weight down the right shin. And again, make sure that your foot's not sickling inward or outward. even if your ankle, the top ankle has space, okay? And then using the blocks as a walker, or it's like stilts, you're going to draw the left foot forward into your splits. There's no need to rush into it. So once you find what's comfortable, your edge here, you're going to draw just the shin forward and try to keep that left thigh down. Glide the blanket forward, toes come back, and then draw the heel back. Spend time, there's no rush. And again, straighten the left leg. So one side may be way tighter than the other. This happens to be my tighter side. Draw the heel inward. Good. Extend into your full split for you today. And I like to put the block, it's just convenient for me. It may not be convenient for you, but if you can put yourself to uphold, it gives you space to discover the pose and what tension and resistance there is in certain parts of the pelvis or the hips. Interlace the hands behind you and press the sacrum straight down. So manually feel what it's like there. Notice if the rib cage is hiked backwards. Feel like the rib cage just lifts upward. The back side more so than maybe the front side, because tendencies are for the front ribs to lift and the back ribs to tilt down. So if you can imagine that your whole rib cage lifts upward, it might give you a different sensation in the pose. Bring your hands back to the bricks. Glide the left foot back. Bring the left foot knee with the right. Good work. And now I'm going to move the blanket off to the side of the mat, to the left side. So we want to have some space and step the right foot So this is going to build some strength, not just going into splits, but the resistance of it. So you're going to grab the blocks in your hands, and the left foot's going to go on the blanket, right foot on the mat. Lift the hands up to the sky, and then bend your knees like you're in a mini chair. Slowly step the left foot, glide it back, let the knee bend, draw towards the ground, keeping the weight in the right knee, and trying to resist, lower the hands down to the ground. So here you go into your little Hanumanasana splits. Now keeping everything low, draw just the knee forward, lift the hands up, and glide back up into stance. That felt good, right? Now let's move and do it again. This is some good stuff. This is something that I saw from Carrie Ower & Co. I took a workshop with her, and this wasn't necessarily in that workshop, but it was definitely inspirational for me in the work she's doing. Good. Now let's switch sides here. I'm going to move the blanket or towel over to the right side of the mat. So you don't have to move the mat, and just kind of set yourself up. Left foot is going to need the sticky mat for stability, and the slide and glide with the right foot. So the hands are in the bricks. You're going to hold them up, and it's necessary, I think, for this pose and this transition. Slowly lower the right knee long and bring the bricks down. Then as soon as you get the left leg straight, you're going to draw the toes towards you. Now bring the left knee forward and then glide the right leg back up. Good. Yeah, let's do that again. So let the right knee start to drop down. Left toes come forward. draw the left shin forward, and then once you get low, and then start to rise up and shift the weight forward. Nice. Good. Whew. Good stuff. All right. Now, take your mat and take the short edge of the mat to the wall. So I'm going to do a couple back bends here. Grab a couple bricks, blocks, books, whatever you have. Put the short sides to the wall. And you want to have enough space for your head to fit in between the blocks. So we're going to set up for wheel for Urdhva Dhanurasana. And then scoot the head towards the wall, step the heels in towards the sit bones, and you're going to bring the fingertips away from the wall. So you kind of have the palms right on the edge of the bricks, close to the ears. Yeah, elbows be able to squeeze in. So I do like to get the feet really close in. And you're going to press straight down onto the bricks. Squeeze the knees in, and then lift the hips upward. So you're going to have the legs really active, and it's going to just give you a different sensation here. Good. So you're going to move the chest towards the wall and try to really straighten the arms. So this takes a little less work on the arms on this version because you are on the props. And then slowly tuck your head under and lower back down. It's just a different point of view. If you're already doing wheel, this gives you a different awareness towards it. Now we're going to do the same thing with the bricks in the same position, but we're going to bring the soles of the feet to where I like to put the beginning of the heel by the arch and the toes onto the wall. So everybody's feet are different sizes. Now scoot the bum towards the bricks. Bring the fingertips pointing towards the wall and elbows squeeze in. It's going to take a little more arm strength, so you're going to lift the hips up. Try to press up. Good. So bring the knees towards the wall, the shins, just to kind of give yourself a little, if you want to walk the hands a little bit more, you can. And then once you have that stability, you can move the chest away from the wall and the shins. And then slowly lower back down. So you can play with this a couple times if you like and stop the video. Draw the knees into your chest, roll over onto one side. Now, we're going to do our Shavasana of sorts. This is going to be the restore pose of the class. Take the blanket, fold it in half, or take double blankets and put it about 6 inches away from the wall. Do legs up the wall. Everybody can use that right now. Let the back heels lift upward. Let the arm bones wide, collarbones wide. I'm going to do a little breathing technique of 4-4-6-2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2. So you can continue to breathe in that pattern if you choose. allow any resistance and grip to soften. Feel the weight of the legs being up in the sky. Just allow that gravity is allowing you to nestle deeper into the earth, feeling more supported, more grounded, being held. Earth is a beautiful thing. We're really connected. You know, we often think about, when do we really not be connected to the earth? You know, when is gravity not existence in our world, in our life? So having gravity work for us can be a wonderful thing. It also builds us up strength, but it's also a very calming, relaxing, and supportive tool for us. And just like as residue sinks to the bottom through gravity, all of the dukkha, intention, and residue of this practice will just make its way to the earth, return, as in the stillness we become clearer and more purified, creating deeper channels and pathways from the mind to the body, allowing more intelligence to flow from the corners of our body, the deep universal space that resides within. So the four corners become closer, clearer, and more in tune when we practice this stillness. So whether it's at the end of a physical workout or in morning meditation, time becomes our anchor to return to the intelligence within. So just feel the fluid body, lymphatic system flowing, the blood flowing, permeating the dead spaces. Bringing life back in. You can move the heels out wide. Changing the pose just a little, subtle movements. Now slowly draw the soles of the feet together and let the knees go wide. Butterfly pose on the wall. And then wrap your forearms around the shins. Give yourself a hug. And roll over onto your sides. Bring the feet into the wall. Let it press in. Let the hands press together over your head. Really feel nestled. Like an embryo. Like in the fetal position. This is something so natural for us to feel comforted, feel supported. And then bring the left hand into the earth, press and rise up. Move into your easy seated pose. You can stack the ankles in front of each other. Bring the palms facing the sky. Collarbones widen. Let the crown sit tall. Just inhale and exhale, cleansing breath. Again, inhale tall and exhale side out. Bring your hands to heart center. Seal this practice with an Om. Inhale. Light and love in me honors the light, the divine love, the wisdom and clarity within you. Namaste. Sat Nam.